online. Go to HyVeIslesOnline.com. Governor's Traffic and Safety Bureau by the Iowa Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, who reminds you to click it or ticket day or night. And by U.S. Bank, helping individuals and businesses work toward their financial goals. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Now, here is your host, Rob Brooks.
Well, the Hawks wrapped up non-conference play last week with a solid 95-65 victory over Western Illinois. 6 players in double figures. Coach Bluder had to really like that, including a triple-double that we'll talk about, and then almost 2 other double-doubles, as the Hawks now 5-1 in overall and 1-1 in Big Ten play, and that's what it's all about now going forward is Big Ten basketball. The Rutgers comes to Carver Hawkeye Arena on Thursday, and then a trip to Illinois to talk about as well on Sunday afternoon. And we're off and running and hopefully get into a game weekly rhythm heading into the new year, Coach. Merry Christmas, and I know you, I'm sure you had a great holiday. Hopefully the players did too. Rejuvenated themselves, got the batteries recharged because it's as you well know, it's all about basketball going forward.
Yeah, we're ready to go now. I mean, there's no more warm-ups. It's time to go. You know, we've only played 2 Big Ten games, which is unusual to have had played 2 games already in December. But now we're looking at 18 straight Big Ten games along with the Big Ten tournament. So it's going to be quite a wild ride, I'm sure, and especially with all the COVID situations going on and games being canceled here and there, and then trying to remake up those games somewhere along the line. As you know, we have an Ohio State game to make up. And when I look at our schedule, I don't know how we're going to do it. But you know, those are things we'll work out. And, you know, hopefully we can get as many games in as possible. The NCAA this year is requiring 13 games, play 13, in order to qualify for the NCAA tournament. And we have 6 down, only need 7 more, but I hope we get a lot more than that.
Yeah, I hope so. Halfway home almost. And I said, you know, getting into a weekly rhythm, and you're usually playing 2 games a week, maybe sometimes 3. But you're right. Flexibility is going to be a key as well, because you just don't know week to week, game to game. And it's going to be the same thing for everybody. What's going to happen as far as opponents, and it seems like every single day there's cancellations, having to reschedule, and that's good that the NCAA did that, because that's a pretty low number, and you would anticipate hopefully getting well over that.
I absolutely do. I think that, you know, the Big Ten and the way that we're doing testing right now, you know, daily testing, I think it really helps us and allows us to play games. I think that, you know, we have a more manageable number than football, for example. I think that we're, you know, if we stay smart and, you know, our players want to play. And so I think we'll do our best to be able to put out a team every single night. And, you know, we're looking at, you know, things are different. You go on the road and now all of a sudden you got to add in testing with your road obligations. For example, when we played at Michigan State, you know, we had to arrive that morning, early in the morning, and spend about an hour getting everybody tested and those results read before we could leave. And then we had one person that it did say that they had a positive test, and by the time, you know, we did the PCR test on them, and there was not a player, but we did a PCR test on them, and they were found negative on the PCR test. But that's why you have to have that gap of time to prove, if you get that false positive, that you prove that you get them back on the court if it was a player, for example.
Or if it is confirmed positive, to get them isolated as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
Then you have to go through the contact tracing. But the one nice thing was you completed the non-conference schedule, and a big victory over Western Illinois. We talked about Caitlin Clark's triple-double, and it's hopefully something we'll talk about, at least one Hawkeye every single week, and maybe multiple, about Player of the Week honors. And Caitlin honored again today.
Yeah, Caitlin, again, bringing in so many honors, named to the freshman Player of the Week in the Big Ten Conference. And we've got some really good freshmen. You're going to see one when we play Rutgers this week, but also named the co-Big Ten Player of the Week. And ironically, the person that she was a co-player with, we're going to see also on Thursday with Rutgers, and that's Arella Garantes. And both of these players had triple doubles in the game leading up to the Christmas vacation. So we got some great players coming in, but again, just really credit Caitlin for getting this honor once again.
13 points and 13 rebounds and also 10 assists. And as we talked on the postgame show, Caitlin didn't shoot the ball as well as she would like to, or the coaching staff would like. At 3 of 15, just 1 of 6 from 3. That's rare, but did knock down 6 of 7 free throws, but stayed in the game and showed that she can do much more than just score.
Absolutely. She played almost 28 minutes in this game and just showed her versatility and her ability to rebound. When you have 13 rebounds in 28 minutes, that's pretty good. And then when you add to that 10 assists in that amount of time, and honestly, I think she could have had a whole lot more of those. We missed some bunnies. We missed some shots that we usually make in this game after her passes that really could have given her, I think she could have had 14 assists in this game easily. But she got a triple-double, and that is not easy to accomplish. The last person to accomplish that for us was Sam Logic against Baylor in 2016, I think, or 2015.
15, yeah.
16. And that was as we were heading into the Sweet 16 game.
Just the 10th in program history, so it shows you how difficult it is to do, especially for a guard, because Caitlin Clark's a very good rebounding guard, long and pretty tall, and just has a nose for the basketball. I remember at the Drake game, I think she had 8 rebounds in that contest and was in the neighborhood of a triple-double as well.
Caitlin does, that's a good way to describe it, has a great nose for the ball. I mean, she has great instincts. She has a really good vision. Like she, sees passes before they're there. She sees spacing on the floor. She does have that just knack to, knock somebody off balance and get her shoulders in front of theirs to get that rebound. Again, she's a work in progress, but boy, she is really opening up a lot of people's eyes around the country with her play. But I'm sure also Rutgers coming in here with a really incredible freshman and the co-player of the week have really got something to prove.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And scoring a ton of points, which seems kind of an odd year for Rutgers as far as that. Usually it's a very good defensive team. I'm sure they still are, but really putting some points on the board. That offense is rolling right along for C. Vivian Stringer. But in the Western Illinois game, Iowa scores Western Illinois points in the paint 52-24, not only getting the ball down low, but driving inside. And I know, Coach, you had to love seeing 6 players in double figures and really got some nice production off the bench as well.
We really did. First of all, we rebounded better in this game. We got 33% of offensive rebounds and only gave up 17% to our opponents. So that's kind of a flip for us. Now, Western Illinois wasn't nearly as big as we were, and we were able to just hammer it inside to Monica a lot in that third quarter. But you're right. Logan Cook had the best game of her career. She ended up with 12 points and 9 rebounds in this game. And she led us with 4 offensive rebounds. I love that. She was a perfect 5 for 5 from the field and a perfect 2 for 2 from the line. So ends up with 12 points, her career high, and also a career high in those rebounds. So that was great to see. Sharon Goodman has 12 points and also 9 rebounds in this game. She goes a perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And Megan Meyer has 13 points, her career high, and is 4 for 8 shooting. But when you do the adjusted for the 2 made threes, that's 62% shooting for Megan, and then also a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line. So those 3 players coming off the bench and getting into double figures was a real boost to the offense.
And Lisa, too, the nice thing is Logan Cook played over 20 minutes, as did Megan Meyer, and it seems like, and it's hopefully something you're seeing in practice, but Megan Meyer and Logan Cook may be inserted into the lineup, coming off the bench a little bit earlier, getting a few more minutes. Is that something they're earning in practice?
Oh, absolutely. Logan is able to now play the backup 4 and the backup 5 for us. So her versatility is giving us more options to play her. And I'm real confident in her going in either position. Sharon Goodman is still our first backup at the 5 position. But to know that you've got another person that can go there if you need it is really reassuring. And Logan, I think, is just embraced doing a better job of defending the post. She's really long in the middle of our zone and does a good job rebounding in the middle of our zone. And also with Logan, she has a little bit better shot range than Sharon and Monica do. So she can stretch out defenses a little bit more. But I'm really thrilled for Logan. She's worked hard. She's fundamentally sound. And just for her to be able to play those minutes. And quite honestly, against a team like Rutgers, it's very quick. Logan might be a really good option for us at the 5 position because of her quickness and because of her agility in that position versus a Monica or Sharon.
And we've talked about building that depth, getting the players to come in and play more minutes off the bench, and whether it would be a virus situation potentially or an injury. And McKenna Warnock, you held her out of the Western Illinois game, so that lended to some more minutes for players coming off the bench as well.
Yes, McKenna sprained her ankle in practice a couple of days before we played the Western Illinois game. And so, she maybe could have gone. It would have been tough, though, and it probably would have set her back. So we feel like it was best to get her out of this game and get her ready for Big Ten basketball. And she's back in practice now, going 100% today. So we feel better about the depth that we have at that position with McKenna starting at the 4. We did move Kate to that 4 position, Kate Martin into the starting 4 position, and Alexis Civilian into the starting guard position that was vacated by Kate. So again, we are able to, with our offense, a lot of people do the same things. And so you're able to kind of move people in pretty effortlessly or seamlessly, which is really nice.
The Western Illinois game, too, obviously expected to win. You want to win big, but you want to look good doing it. You want to be able to dominate in all facets of the game. And I thought the second quarter in particular was very, very good. And then you came out strong to start the second half in quarter number 3 as well.
I agree with you. The second quarter, we won 23-13. Anytime you're winning by 10 and a quarter, I think it's good. The third quarter, we won 27-17. So our offense got going a little bit more, but again, winning that quarter by 10 points. And I like the fact that we had 21 assists and only 13 turnovers. Valuing the ball is going to be very important against a team like Rutgers that really just forced people. They forced Wisconsin into 25 turnovers. So valuing the ball is going to be a real key to a victory against Rutgers.
And 14 steals by the Hawks against Western Illinois. We have our first phone call of the night, a regular. Great to hear from Anthony in Des Moines. Anthony, how are you tonight?
Well, pretty good, Bob. Coach, how you two guys are doing this evening? I hope you guys have a good Christmas this year.
Terrific. Thank you, Anthony. I hope you did as well.
Well, yeah. I not only have my Christmas is good. I just celebrated my birthday over the weekend. I'm now official 50 and everything. So
that's 2 for 1.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you, Coach. Coach, I do have a memorable Wade question for you. When you first coached at the old Iowa Field House, I don't know if you remember that building or not, but I'm kind of curious, what players did you have when you first coached in that arena, and what are your former players are doing right now? And another question I have for you, what are your concerns about Rutgers coming this week at Carver Hawkeye Arena? What do you need to do to defend your home court? And, Coach, I'll hang up and listen, and go Hawks, and Happy New Year.
All right, Anthony. Well, I never did coach in the Iowa Fieldhouse. The Fieldhouse, or Carver, was built in 1983, and I actually got to play in the first event ever held in Carver Hawkeye Arena. The first women's basketball game was against UNI, and I was playing for the Panthers. And we played in Carver Hawkeye Arena. So I didn't ever coach in Iowa Fieldhouse. I never played in there, except for if you want to call camp basketball, some pretty fine camp games going on in the Iowa Fieldhouse. But that's about it. Got to see the Harlem Globetrotters play in there once when I was in high school. That was wonderful. So I don't have a lot of coaching experience in the field house, but a lot of camps. We've run a lot of camps over there. Really with Rutgers, they have 3 really outstanding players, but 2 really all-American type of players. And Aurelia Garantas is going to probably be a first-round WNBA pick this year. She was a preseason favorite for Big Ten Player of the Year, one of the many, top couple of kids in our conference. And, she's just terrific. And they have a terrific freshman. Caitlin Clark was ranked as the 4th best freshman in America, but Diamond Johnson was ranked as the 6th best freshman in America. Both of them play guard. Diamond's only 5'5", so Caitlin has a little bit more height on her. But boy, she can shoot the ball and she's fast. And so those 2 players are really, really impressive. But it's their press, right? I mean, they're forcing so many turnovers. They get a lot of easy baskets off their turnovers. And so that's something we really have to be careful of.
Yeah, Lisa, they've committed 87 turnovers, but the opponents 148. And that's got to be right up there as far as in the country. But you mentioned Diamond Johnson, too, averaging 17.5, and the fact that she can shoot at almost a 50% three-point shooter, 15 of 31 so far. And Garantas, of course, we've seen her for several years, and was the Big Ten's leading scorer a season ago.
Yeah, Garantas is just a handful to match up with. She's a 5'11" guard that can post up. She's agile. She has a step-back shot. She can, hit tough shots, and she rebounds really well. Just a really nice player and somebody that, we try to keep the ball out of her hands, but that's hard to do. She's very effective at getting herself open. So she's a terrific player. And then, like you said, with Diamond Johnson now coming as a freshman and shooting 50% from three-point range, that's really big for Rutgers. Rutgers, kind of what's been their Achilles heel is, besides Garantas, a whole lot of three-point shooting, and now they do. Now they have that second weapon. And then you've got their point guard, Zippy, that is really doing a good job as well. She's shooting 36% from three-point range. So now you have three-point shooters, legitimate three-point shooters, that you really have to be careful of with this Rutgers team. So it has made a difference for them.
Yeah, she's made 10 three-pointers and also has dished out 29 assists, has turned it just 10 times. But the thing that really sticks out is the amount of points that Rutgers has put on the board, even scored 87 against Maryland and averaging 86 per game. That's usually a game you feel like if you could get to 70, you got a good chance to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. Rutgers, though, I will say, outside of the Big Ten, they haven't challenged themselves like we have. I think we've played really good people. I think UNI, Drake, and Iowa State in particular are 3 really good non-conference schools. And I look at their non-conference schools, and, we're looking at Monmouth, Hampton, Sacred Heart, and Manhattan. Those 4 schools are not to the level, in my opinion, of Drake, Iowa State, and UNI. So I think we've done a little bit more work in preparing ourselves for the Big Ten. Now, they played Maryland very close. And they played, they won at Wisconsin by 5 points, okay? And then they lost to Maryland only by 4. The Maryland game was at Rutgers, and so it was an early game for Maryland, but at the same time, I guess I'm trying to say is they've played very well, but they haven't played the competition that we've played. And sometimes statistics can be deceiving when you're not playing as good of opponents as, in my estimation, what we've been playing against.
Yeah, their non-conference schedule, opponents had a tough time scoring 40 points. And, of course, we know what Drake can do. And UNI has had some very good wins. And, of course, Iowa State has gotten off to a very good start as well. So non-conference victories, chalk that one up for the Hawks, but it should be fun on Thursday. And Karn is on the phone line from North Liberty. Karn, how are you doing?
Hope that this next year is much better than this one. And Lisa, I feel old because I saw you play in that first game over at the Carver Hawkeye, but before that I saw you play at Linn-Mar.
Oh,
so
boy.
that makes me old.
Youth, Karn.
But anyway, do you keep track of things like getting close to a triple-double And do you let the player know? In the summer league, when I kept score, we always let them know how close they were so they could get the triple-double. And go Hawks, we love Vivian, but not when we play them.
Yeah, I agree with you, Karn. I mean, Vivian is somebody we have so much respect for with this program. She put this program on the map, and Hall of Fame coach, has the most wins of anybody in the Big Ten, been to 3 different Final Fours. And you just go on and on and on about Vivian and her success, and, really just admire Vivian, respect her so much. But you're right. When she comes to Carver Hawkeye Arena, we want to get her, just like any other opponent. So the triple-double, it doesn't happen that often. This particular game, we did know it was getting close. We do get statistics on the bench, and so we did know. I didn't tell Caitlin. I think Caitlin might have had an idea, though. I think Caitlin, the points you can see up there, I think she kind of knows when she was getting close. I never did tell her. I thought about it, but I didn't tell her. But we intended to leave her in that game until she got that honor, because they are hard to come by. As we've already talked about, only 10 have done it in the history of our program. So we did want her to get it, and we're glad that she did.
Tough to come by, and Caitlin Clark, hopefully one of many throughout her career. And Lisa mentioned that Vivian Stringer, all-time Big Ten's wins leader, women's basketball, but Coach Bluder is number 2 and one of only 2 coaches to have over 200 Big Ten wins in their career, and that's quite an honor. That's a lot of victories and terrific winning percentages. Don't forget that you can watch Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder on YouTube.com. Just go to YouTube and / Hawkeye Radio Network, and if you have a question, we always invite you to call, as Anthony and Karen have, at 1-877-464-2957. But you can also leave us a message in the chat room as well on the video stream, and also hashtag Hawk Talk on social media. So many ways to reach us this season. Don't forget that Hawkeye basketball is brought to you by Bud Light. Whenever there's a Hawkeye game to watch, there's a Bud Light. And, of course, the Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series is on hold this season. Iowa's corn farmers will continue to stand by this unique series and everything it stands for, because here in Iowa we go corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa. We will have more Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder after the break.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now, hip. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, Hawkeye fans. Gary Dolphin here for UPS. Your customers want more from your business. You've got to make more happen, whether they're in Coralville or on the other side of the world. Globally or locally, UPS is building solutions to help businesses give their customers exactly what they want. More made easy. UPS, the official logistics company of Iowa Athletics.
Here in Iowa, corn is more than our livelihood. It's our way of life. We use it to feed our livestock, helping us raise healthy pigs, cows, and chickens. We use it to make ethanol, helping us power a prosperous, clean-burning future. We use it to nourish our families, helping us stay strong generation to generation. And the more we use it, the more it boosts our economy, helping elevate the lives of all Iowans. You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
It all started with a grilled cheese sandwich. 2 simple pieces of bread, some butter, and a slice of American cheese. But after making it day after day, week after week, I hungered for more. Colby, provolone, Gouda. But Gouda wasn't good enough. I wanted great. I added tomatoes, pickles, jalapenos. If I could birth this gooey work of art in my tiny, modest kitchen, imagine what I could do in a gourmet chef's kitchen. So I called U.S. Bank about loaning me some extra cheddar. Now I had the mad cheese skill and a superior grill. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Get ready for more. Introducing Hy-Vee Plus. Get a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, you can call our Red Line hotline day or night for anything you need. Plus, free online delivery and free express pickup. Plus, a personal online shopper. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. Sign up today. Some restrictions apply.
Riverside Casino and Golf Resort loves a winner. You see it in every game. Play-by-play, everywhere you turn. Whether it's hitting the tables, spending time at your favorite game, or just relaxing, enjoying everything that Riverside Casino has to offer, you can bet we have something for everyone. So make every game play count. Your best bet is Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, located just 12 miles south of Iowa City on Highway 218. Let the games begin.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with head coach Lisa Bluder. I'm Rob Brooks. Thanks so much for joining us on this Monday night. Looking forward to a couple of big basketball games this week. Of course, Iowa hosts Rutgers New Year's Eve, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we'll presumably hop on the bus on Saturday and play Illinois on Sunday, and then come back another home game against Minnesota on January 6th. Coach, just looking at the schedule, in Big Ten play, it looks like just one time you have back-to-back road games, the 21st of January at Maryland and then the 24th at Rutgers. Any thought to just staying out on the East Coast? Is there, not back-to-back, but within 3 days?
Yeah, we actually are going to do that. It's much more cost efficient to stay out there than it is to go back and forth to the East Coast with that significant trip. So the players are not in school. We feel like it's a good time to travel since they're not missing classes. A little bit worried about spending that much time on a road in hotels and buses and stuff like that. But, we're going to be eating our meals in our hotel rooms. That's kind of been that's the new norm. Not as much fun for sure, and not as much camaraderie, but we are going to plan on flying out, and really strange, we fly out to Maryland on Inauguration Day, and then we'll be playing Maryland the next day. And after that, we're going to try to give our team a little driving tour of the monuments, just so that they can see them in Washington, D.C. before we head over to Rutgers. And then we'll have the next day to practice and prepare for Rutgers, and then play them and get home that night. So we are going to make that an extended road trip. We usually have an extended road trip during Thanksgiving, and this year we didn't have that. So I'm not saying this is going to make up for Cancun, but that's the thing, right?
I think you're pretty safe in saying that, huh?
Yeah.
But I know you like to go to some historical sites and do some things like that, especially with all the history out on the East Coast, or maybe check out Manhattan when at Rutgers, as long as players aren't in class. And that worked out a couple of years ago. But boy, if it was a non-pandemic year at Maryland, at Rutgers, you could really get a lot of history and some things that maybe these players have never seen before in their lives.
Yeah, I just think it makes sense for us to be doing this. I think the Big Ten should really set this up so that, we're not going back and forth to that East Coast, because it is such an expensive trip to go back and forth. So, I think that, some things that this pandemic is bringing, we need to pay attention, and we need to make some changes. Is it hard to stay on the road that many days? Yeah. But do you do it during the NCAA tournament? Yes. Do you do it during the Big Ten tournament? Yes. Do you do it during Thanksgiving tournaments? Yes. So why not do it now? So I think it's a really smart thing as far as cost savings for the universities. And I think it's actually better for the players as far as, not getting home late at night and then practicing the next day and then the following day leaving for that trip again. So I think it's healthier for them. It'll be good. And a couple of years ago, we were able to catch a Broadway play when we were out there playing Rutgers. That was really neat. We won't be able to do that this year. And obviously, we've tried to get a hold of the Smithsonian's. They're closed, so we won't be able to do that. But again, a bus driving tour of the monuments really gives players the chance. Some of them haven't seen it. And so it's definitely worth the time to do that when they're out of school. And I think a really exciting opportunity for us.
And it always seems like they embrace it and really enjoy seeing some of the sites that part of the country you maybe not spent a whole lot of time at. Then you mentioned the NCAA tournament. Talk about having it in one location, the site of the Final Four in San Antonio, Texas. That would be something different. But why not, right?
Yeah, this is going to be different this year, but every tournament game is going to be moved to San Antonio, Texas. And so as I understand it, there's 4 sites that we're going to be using. So I'm not sure if they'll put, a region at each site or if that doesn't matter or not. It'll be interesting to see logistically how they pull this off, but I guess San Antonio, they have enough hotel space they can probably handle these teams, and I think people's travel parties might be a little smaller this year than they usually are. I'm sure there's not going to be as many fans traveling as there usually would be to these type of events, and so it's going to be really interesting, and I'm glad that the NCAA has figured out a way for us to hold this tournament during a pandemic. I think it's tremendous. And the men are going to be playing in Indianapolis while the women play in San Antonio. And it should be a really great experience. I'm just glad we're going to get to play.
And keep the same amount of teams in the tournament.
We will have 64 teams, which is a little bitter thing for me that we are less than the men. The men have, 68,
I believe, yeah.
68 in the men's tournament, and women only have 64. So I think that's a little bit, I don't know why we only have 64. It doesn't make sense to me if the men have 68. It should be equal in my opinion, but we don't. And so all 64 women's teams will be in San Antonio.
Coach, I wanted to ask you too about recruiting. Some high schools in states aren't playing. Of course, the state of Iowa certainly started. I don't believe they have in Illinois, and haven't looked at it state by state. But how does that kind of impact recruiting if players you're looking at, you see them in AAU obviously in the summer, but if they're not playing their high school season, what difficulty does that bring to the forefront?
Yeah, it's more difficult in that they're not seeing you there. They're not seeing Iowa sitting in the front row of their game. In Iowa, thankfully we are playing, but like you said, Illinois is not playing. Nebraska is playing, and we've been able to watch some of our recruits, online, which is a great way to watch them. In fact, I thought, one night as I was watching a recruit play in Nebraska and I had a glass of wine in my hand, this isn't so bad. Normally I'd be getting home from that game about midnight or 12:30 or so, and I was tucked in bed by 10 o'clock. So, life is not so bad in that recruiting area, but, the broad thing is that it's easier to evaluate talent live. And it's obviously, for them to see you. We have Canada is not playing right now. Michigan is not playing right now, but they are expected to start playing soon. So hopefully that'll happen. So it's just different. Every state is different right now, which is very unusual.
Yeah, you see enough airports and rental car terminals, don't you?
Yes.
It's nice to take advantage of it when you can do some of that from home. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, locally owned and operated, has been voted the best of the area for the 10th consecutive year and is a proud supporter of Iowa women's basketball. Visit us for all of your automotive needs, including the best deals on Goodyear and Toyo tires. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, celebrating over 25 good years in Iowa City. Hawkeye basketball also proudly sponsored by Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Iowa's hometown health insurer for over 80 years. Wellmark reminds Hawkeye fans to stay healthy and stay in the game by wearing a mask, washing your hands, and getting a flu shot. We've got a Twitter question from Mary we'll get to when we come back. More Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder up next.
Is your vehicle worn out from well winter? Before spring arrives, get a free vehicle inspection from my dad and his staff at Dodge Street Tire and Auto. For over 25 good years, they've been your family-friendly, dependable, and honest neighborhood auto repair shop. That's why their loyal customers have once again voted Dodge Street Tire as the best in the area. Don't be left out in the cold. Dodge Street Tire and Auto at the corner of Dodge and Church Street.
Feel the power. Feel the speed. Feel extreme. Hawk fans, get extreme. Powered by Mediacom. And experience streaming so real you can feel it. Whether you're live streaming the game or streaming your favorite series with supercharged speeds up to 1 gig and powerful whole home Wi-Fi, you're in it. Our 100% gigabit technology network was built to take you further. Get ready to feel it. Extreme, powered by Mediacom.
Imagine a virtual club that's free to join, where the fun never stops and where there's always something new and exciting happening. It's the Prize Zone, a special part of the Iowa Lottery VIP Club that'll make your VIP experience even VIP-ier. Members can enter Prize Zone drawings for cash, technology, lottery tickets, concert tickets, and sports ticket prizes all day, every day, all year long. Get rules and complete details at ialottery.com. Join today and see what's waiting for you in the VIP Club Prize Zone.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Are you looking to downsize from your family home to begin your retirement years? Our Oak Knoll East campus is for you. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director at Oak Knoll. Our new campus has many unique amenities for your active lifestyle, in addition to providing the same great services that Oak Knoll has offered our residents for over 50 years. We're now open and have a few 2-bedroom apartments still available. Call me at 319-351-1720 or visit oakknoll.com to set up your personal tour. Go Hawks!
Hidden phone trade-ins, hidden plan requirements, hidden catches. You won't find them at US Cellular because we speak fair. Plus, when you switch right now, you can get $500 off the latest phones. That's right, $500 off the latest phones with no hidden requirements, no hidden plan requirements, no hidden phone trade-ins, and no hidden... You get the idea. Upgrade to fair. Upgrade to US Cellular. Requires new postpaid service plan, new line port-in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight on Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder. Whether you're listening on the Hawkeye Radio Network, youtube.com/Hawkeye Radio Network, we certainly appreciate it. And as promised, Mary has sent us a Twitter question from Cedar Rapids. And Lisa, she comments on, she really liked the video that was posted about the team's holiday party and just wanted to know if that's something you do each and every year.
Yeah, I haven't found that video yet. I need to find it, Mary, but I will go look for it. We do a holiday party every year for our players. It's something that we really look forward to. We have a nice meal. We sit down together. We were fortunate. We found a restaurant in Iowa City that would remain closed for us, and so there were no other patrons in the restaurant. It was all buffet style, so our players helped themselves basically, and no wait staff really had to be around our team. So we made it safe. But yes, this is something we do every single year. We enjoy doing it. We get they have a little Christmas exchange among themselves, a little secret Santa, which is fun. And they give a little gift to us coaches, which is so thoughtful and nice. And we're able to give them a little Hawk gear too. So it's fun and just a time for us to come together and enjoy a meal and celebrate the holiday and just be able to tell them how thankful we are for them.
And a nice time to dress up too, maybe in an ugly sweater, have some fun with it.
Yes, we've had some really unique
I've seen a few of those.
We've had people come in dressed as presents, and we've had all kinds of things, but we've had some good ugly sweaters over the years.
Of course, 2 games this week, Rutgers at home, and both of The two teams, Iowa and Rutgers, knocking on the door, top 25. And, Coach, as always, it's going to be really competitive this year in the Big Ten. 6 teams already ranked in the AP top 25 from 14 to 25. Maryland 14th, Northwestern, Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana, and Michigan State is ranked. And maybe the winner of Thursday's game gets into the top 25, but not necessarily something you really worry about right now, but just shows you the competitiveness, once again, of this league.
I agree with you. We've got some really terrific teams and terrific coaches in this league. And so facing Rutgers, I'm glad we have them at home on the 31st. And again, that game is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you can tune in, the radio or Big Ten Plus and watch us play that game. It's going to be a terrific game. Really some tremendous athletes on the floor for this game. So I think it's going to be very competitive. Last year, we only got to play them. We lost to them in overtime, the last regular season game of the year. So that's kind of in our minds a little bit, and we kind of want to redeem ourselves. So we had a good run going against Rutgers. I don't know how many in a row we had won before that point. We'd like to get another nice long streak going.
Yeah, that was a memorable game last year. Everything except the outcome, because it really made a push there at the end of regulation to get that game into overtime, and felt like it had some momentum, but Rutgers at that time was playing good basketball.
Yeah, they really were at the end of the year, and that's right when you want to be. And obviously, I think the home court makes a difference. It's not so much this year without fans, but you still have the travel. You still have the unfamiliarity with the arena, the lighting and such. And so, we're glad we get to play at home, but we know that Sunday we got to go play at Illinois. That's a team that's 2-2 in the overall right now. They've had the last couple of games canceled because of COVID. They've had non-conference games canceled. They also had Michigan game canceled because of COVID. So they are 0-1 in the Big Ten and 2-2 overall. And almost an entirely new team with Illinois. They've either transferred or graduated most of their players. And so, that rebuilding project continues to happen over there. But I'm telling you, go to anybody's, playing on their home court, anything can happen. And so definitely, we'd love to get a couple this week, but one at a time.
No doubt about that. And the transfer portal, Coach, boy, it is a busy place in all sports. And you even see a lot of transfers around the Big Ten in women's basketball. It seems like every team outside of the Hawkeyes has 2, sometimes 3, and there's been some movement within the conference as well. Don't see it going away. I think it's here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely. And with the the transfer rules just lightening up, and there's really no penalty to transfer anymore. And to a 20-year-old, sometimes the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, and I think that's unfortunate. I think of a lot of kids that kind of maybe in our program weren't exactly happy maybe their first couple of years with their playing time, and they stuck it out and ended up having marvelous careers. And it's just too easy to jump ship right now. And when you're going through the line, we don't do it this year, saying everybody good game. But man, everybody's got their business cards now handed out in those lines, because that's where you're going to do a lot of your recruiting as you go through the line after a game anymore. It's just, it really is silly in my opinion.
Yeah, and the grad transfer, that was something I think a lot of players did, but then it was supposed to be where you would transfer into a graduate program where you were interested in finishing a graduate degree, but that kind of seemed to go by the wayside and just looking for one other year opportunity to play. And now it's just kind of a free-for-all, and then you throw in it's a free year for everybody here in every sport, football, basketball, spring sports from a season ago, where if you want to play a 6th year or maybe even a 7th year, you have that ability to.
It's going to be a logjam because, they've given everybody a free year, but they haven't given us any more scholarships to use. And nor could the schools really afford any more scholarships. So you're going to have logjams. If, people want to stay, you've got people committed for those scholarships. kids coming out right now, seniors and juniors, are going to see the effects to this. There's going to be not as many available opportunities as there usually would be in Division I for scholarships because of this blanket policy that anybody can have this year kind of forgiven and get a whole nother bonus years. And then you think about what it's going to do to our record books. It's going to destroy record books. And I think that's kind of sad. Like, if we're not going to count this year, maybe we shouldn't count any of the statistics or any of the records that are occurring during this year, because, for a player, let's say to become the all-time leading scorer, if they get to play 5 years versus somebody else that only played 4, it's not really a level playing field. And I think that it's kind of sad, really. And then, records are going to be set that can never be reached again because, again, the uneven playing field. So there's a lot of things, but coaches, ADs are going to have to do a lot of work as far as the log jam that's going to happen in their program. You can't keep any more players, so players want to stay around. You're going to have to be figuring out, who's going to stay, who's going to go, who's going to get in the transfer portal. You're going to have to be making some hard decisions on that. And then also with recruiting, you have commitments already. And so it's just a very strange thing. And especially, it's really strange if we actually get to play 25 games, or 24 or 20 or whatever it is. I mean, that's almost a whole season. And to get the whole season back is pretty remarkable.
And does that even add to the transfer portal as well? Well, I can go play another year since, maybe a scholarship isn't at this school. I can go to someplace else, either within the conference or someplace else. You might see some of that as well.
Oh, I think you're going to see that. They see the writing on the wall. Maybe you've over-recruited them or, recruited better talent, so get out of here. Or maybe I don't have room for you anymore. There might be coaches that just simply don't have room for players because, they've already had commitments coming in. So that transfer portal is going to be a really hot recruiting item coming up. It is now. It is now. There are people that are watching that transfer portal, daily on every single staff around the country. But it's going to really heat up, I think, at the end of this year.
Lisa, do you think that for a lot of coaches around the country, especially if you don't really have a solid program or you walk into a situation where maybe a team only won 5 or 6 games, you go right to the transfer portal and maybe don't recruit a whole lot in high school anymore?
I think that's going to be a really a way that teams can make an immediate impact is you're getting seasoned players. You're not going with freshmen. It used to be if you were going in, to a school that was a rebuilding project, you would look at like some junior college players or some international players right away. And now, I think you can go to that transfer portal and get players that are seasoned players that have had, really good experiences or played at BCS schools already. So I think it's really a way for a team to get very good quickly is by using that portal.
And then you talked about international players. Maybe you don't look to a Spain or Europe for a player when you might be able to find a transfer closer to home.
Well, and especially right now in this day and age, it's there's no way that people are going to be able to travel overseas and see players. And they're not going to be able to come visit your campus either. I think that it's going to be tough to recruit international players for the next year. There'll be some that always take chances, like, sight unseen type of thing. Not something that we like to do, but that I'm sure will happen. I can't see it happening to the level that it's been happening. And it just, kids are scared to travel, right? I mean, kids are scared to travel that far away from home.
Yeah. Before the pandemic, were there rules for international trips, how much you would be able to go overseas and recruit, or was it just a budgetary thing?
It was both. You have to have the budget to be able to recruit overseas, but there also are times and events that you can go. So you have your recruiting period in July that you're able to go. And then there's also some international competitions, like USA Basketball is a part of, that you could go over and watch. Like we went to Bangkok to watch Caitlin Clark play a couple of years ago. That would be a good example of that. So there are times that you can go and there are certain tournaments that you can go to, but you obviously have to have the budget in order to do so.
Do most schools have a contact or two overseas where, hey, you might get a phone call or an email saying, hey, you check check this player out?
There are definitely some schools that are more plugged in the international recruiting than others. I would say that's not like our top priority. Our top priority is really to recruit a player for 4 years that we really have been able to build their relationship versus, a foreign player that maybe you only know for a couple months and you're making that, kind of commitment to. So there are definitely some programs that are built with foreign players, and they've done a great job with it. And so some coaches maybe have an assistant coach that played over in Italy or Spain, and so they know, they're plugged into that professional system in that country. So they're able to recruit a little bit easier. But there's always opportunities for us to sign up for recruiting services from European countries, from Spain, Australia, and there's certainly, plenty of those out there. You got to make sure you're dealing with the right people, though. But you can certainly purchase recruiting services that are going to rank those foreign players.
Okay, good stuff. We'll be back with more Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder after the break.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Whether it's a commercial, residential, healthcare, or industrial project, Carpenters Union Local 1260 provides a professional and productive workforce on time and on budget. And Union Carpenters also have specialized COVID prevention training to allow for the safest environment possible. Since 1902, Carpenters Union Local 1260 has been building the University of Iowa, and that relationship continues today as a proud partner of Hawkeye Athletics. To find a Union contractor and Union Carpenters for your next job, visit carpentersunionlocal1260.com or call 319-338-1638.
Primary care providers should be able to look at patients, read between the lines, and know something's not right. Hi, I'm Dr. Denise Martinez at University of Iowa Healthcare. 80% of conditions can be treated by a family medicine doctor, so our comprehensive and caring approach is key. And if it turns out to be serious or out of our scope, we'll connect you to the right specialists right away. With experts all across the region, find one near you at uihc.org.
Hi, Hawkeye fans. Gary Dolphin here for UPS. Your customers want more from your business. You've got to make more happen, whether they're in Coralville or on the other side of the world. Globally or locally, UPS is building solutions to help businesses give their customers exactly what they want. More made easy. UPS, the official logistics company of Iowa Athletics.
Are you looking to downsize from your family home to begin your retirement years? Our Oak Knoll East campus is for you. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director at Oak Knoll. Our new campus has many unique amenities for your active lifestyle, in addition to providing the same great services that Oak Knoll has offered our residents for over 50 years. We're now open and have a few 2-bedroom apartments still available. Call me at 319-351-1720 or visit oakknoll.com to set up your personal tour. Go Hawks!
Here in Iowa, corn is more than our livelihood. It's our way of life. We use it to feed our livestock, helping us raise healthy pigs, cows, and chickens. We use it to make ethanol, helping us power a prosperous, clean-burning future. We use it to nourish our families, helping us stay strong generation to generation. And the more we use it, the more it boosts our economy, helping elevate the lives of all Iowans. You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Terrific conversation with Coach Bluder here on Hawk Talk. Don't forget, it is Iowa and Rutgers from Carver Hawkeye Arena, 2 o'clock. We'll be on the air at 1:45. Looking to downsize from your family home? The new Oak Knoll East Campus is now open and offers many unique amenities for your active lifestyle. Call 319-351-1720 or visit oakknoll.com to set up your personal tour. Oak Knoll is a proud supporter of the Iowa Hawkeyes. We'll be back with some final comments after the break.
Champions share common traits: integrity, reliability, hard work, and innovation.
Better Business Bureau knows championship companies. We conduct background checks and listen to consumers around Iowa and Illinois, so we know the true character of these companies. Let the BBB match you with a championship company when you're hiring a contractor, using a business, or need a service. The Better Business Bureau is an Iowa nonprofit serving our neighbors for over 80 years. BBB help and information is free, so find us at bbb.org/Iowa.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
College basketball is back on Sirius XM. On Big Ten Radio, there's live coverage for every college basketball team in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along online or on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now, as a college student, you can stream your first 3 months of Sirius XM for $1. Fees and taxes apply. See other details and subscribe now at SiriusXM.com/Big Ten Basketball.
Fans, if you want to give your taste buds the thrill of a dramatic, fun-filled victory, try Blue Bunny Loaded Sundaes. With a roster of all-star flavors, Loaded Sundaes have tons of toppings, swirled in deliciously soft ice cream. Even better, they come straight from the freezer, so you can grab one and get right back to the game. The next time you're in the freezer aisle, let your fun side act as head coach. Get Blue Bunny Loaded Sundaes, available now at your local grocery store.
Experience the benefit of Blue with a Medicare supplement plan from Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield. With our plans, you'll enjoy nationwide access to care, optional dental, vision, and hearing coverage, and more. Call 1-888-616-8927 or go online to wellmark.com/Medicare plans. You may even qualify for a special household discount. This is the benefit of Blue. Wellmark Blue dental product available to Iowa residents only. Must reside in the service area of the plan. Wellmark Medicare supplement insurance plans are not connected with or endorsed by any government agency.
Like any winning team, it takes every part of EMC insurance companies working together to successfully ensure that our agents, policyholders, and employees can count on EMC. And they do. They count on our broad range of insurance products and services. They count on our superior level of personalized service, and they trust that we will continue to be a financially stable partner, just like we have been for more than 100 years. All of this makes EMC one of the nation's premier insurance companies, and that's something you can always count on.
Final seconds of Hawk Talk. I'm Rob Brooks. Please appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Coach, about 20 seconds. Be a good ball game, good test for the Hawks on Thursday.
Going to be a great opportunity for us to host a tremendous Hawk Arena. Just wish we could have all of our friends there with us, but I know you'll be cheering through us, for us through the radio and through Big Ten Plus, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, Coach, thanks very much, and good night, and more Hawk Talk next Monday.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, this has been Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder, brought to you by Oak Knoll, an active life care community, also brought to you by Bud Light. Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Hy-Vee, save time and shop online with Hy-Vee Aisles Online. Go to HyVeeAislesOnline.com. Governor's Traffic and Safety Bureau by the Iowa Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau, who reminds you to click it or ticket day or night. And by U.S. Bank, helping individuals and businesses work toward their financial goals. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation of the Hawkeye Sports Network.